We all make mistakes. This mistake cost me dearly, but let me take you back to the beginning. Getting into medical school. It was such a big feat. GCSEs, A-levels, UK CAT, BMAT, interviews, all those things over the years had built up to this moment. It felt like a huge deal, and it was. And I think that's when it started happening. I distinctly remember a specific moment that really set the scene for what was going to happen in the next few years. Our head teacher gave what was supposed to be a motivational speech. And in that speech, she said something along the lines of, girls in secondary school do much better than boys, but that all changes at university, and typically boys will do better in that environment of independent studying. For some reason, that really hit me. I felt like I was being told what my fate was going to be in medical school. When I had worked so hard to get to this point, I was being told that as a general rule, girls would succeed less in university. It got me fired up, but not in a healthy way. I really wanted to prove that I would not fit into that box and I would succeed at medical school. And that was my mistake. I started studying to succeed at medical school. I studied and memorized and revised for hours on end to ace my exams. I practiced examinations and history taking and practical skills to do well in my OSCEs. I even signed up to half a dozen societies, from Muay Thai and weights to volunteering and welfare. I was going to succeed. But what is success? A, in medical school, and B, in life. I remember in third year when I was on placements, we rotated between hospitals and I would spend a lot of time with the junior doctors, and some of them were just incredible. From the knowledge that they had to their communication skills, I was blown away, and I was supposed to be that in 3 years. To be honest, it made me panic, but it also made me realize something that I knew but I hadn't really internalized before. The goal is not to ace your exams. It's not to do well in your OSCEs. The goal is to be a good doctor. One that is empathetic, that can listen to their patients, that is kind, that is knowledgeable, that is humble, and that can work well in a team. Medical school is a means to an end. It was never the end goal. That shift changes everything. It gives you perspective and a bigger long-term purpose. Instead of studying to do well in an exam, you study and do the exam to become a better doctor. If you mess up on a test, but you studied hard and you understood the assignment, it still steps towards becoming that better doctor, because the aim was never to ace that test. You don't need to be number 1 or number 100 in medical school. You're already in medical school. And you realize that students who score most highly in exams aren't necessarily always going to be the best doctors. Now, I'm not saying to use that as an excuse to do the bare minimum. Learn as much as you can. Be the best that you can. But understand that it's not just the exams and the OSCEs that are your school. I realized that I had to do what was needed to pass my exams, but that should almost be a byproduct. With that mindset, my focus could be patience. You don't practice with a patient to pass your OSCEs. You pass your OSCEs because you practiced with that patient to develop your skills. That was the goal. And I strongly believe that lots of the skills that you need as a doctor, you learn in medical school, but not directly through exams or OSCEs. You learn organizational skills by being involved in your studying and extracurricular activities. You learn to socialize and be a good communicator. Those social skills are incredibly important as a doctor. My mistake was the wrong mindset, and you may not have seen that from the outside. That mindset shift made me reevaluate my definition of success, even in my general life. I've always wanted to be the best in everything that I do, and that was my definition of success. But that's the point. Success is supposed to look different for everyone. You will see students who get the top grades, or people who have highest paying jobs, or even surgeons who are the best in the country. But what you may not know about that student is that they're suffering with mental health problems, and that surgeon just got divorced and doesn't have anyone in their lives. Now, these examples are dramatic, and I'm not saying that somebody who does better than you must have something wrong with them. But what I'm trying to say is there is no one-size-fits-all for success. Doing the best in everything that you do does not mean being the first in everything that you do. It may look like being an average medical student, having a healthy relationship and doing volunteering work. It may look like being very academic, but maybe not having so much of a social life. There is no right or wrong answer. There's just what you define as success. You may be average in everything that you do in life, but maybe that's your version of success because you get to do all of those things. So I guess the question that came from my mistake was, really, what does success look like to you? And I like to see this as a bit of a video game where you're a character and you've got 100 points and you choose where you put those points, whether that be speed, agility, strength, physical looks, whatever it is. You pick what your idea of an ideal character or success is. And there isn't one right or wrong answer. You can identify the things that are a priority to you and maybe spend less time and effort and energy in the things that are less important to you. You can't put 100 points in every section. That's just not possible. And trying to do that is just going to set an unrealistic expectation for yourself. When I say that I made a mistake in medical school, I don't think it's over. I'm glad that I'm aware of the problem and I realize the need for this mindset shift. But I think it's a lifetime struggle because we live in a society where everything is judged. There is good or bad, there is right or wrong. And it's hard to stick to your idea of success and not chase after the ideals that you're told day in and day out you should be attaining. Success in medical school could look like good mental health, 1 or 2 good friends, decent grades, and lots of activities on the sides. That to me is the idea of a successful medical student. But it doesn't matter what I think, it matters what your idea of a successful medical student is. I wouldn't want to swap that for excellent grades and no relationships, for example. And you can't have everything, it can't be perfect. The way I see it, when you define your own success, you get to pick your glitches, things that aren't really important to you and don't really matter that much in your life. And that way you can focus that 100 points of energy into the things that are really your priorities. And that will be your definition of success. So pick your glitch and let me know in the comments down below what your idea of success in life and success as a medical student looks like. I really hope that you found this useful and that we can all learn from each other. If there are any topics that you'd like discussed, please drop them in the comments down below. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.